Alright lads, so today over on Brace, we got a lot of exciting news regarding stuff that is coming out in 2 weeks time and stuff that will be happening in the year 2026. This, of course, is all because of the 10th anniversary Brave Souls Festival, an offline event that was just held in Japan. It was pretty much just a real-life Bankai Live, but it also did come with a lot of exciting news that, fortunately for us, they did post online. So with that said, let's go over all the news that we did get today. And that, of course, also includes all the stuff that we did get announced today, even the small stuff. So first up, due to popular demand, the photo prints will be available for sale in Japan until the end of the year. This is more so for those that are in Japan. Remember, the reason this whole login bonus that we did get even existed in the first place because it was a real life event going on in Japan where you could go and get random photo prints of the characters that were featured in round 1, 2, 3, and 4. That was supposed to end last week, but it seems like it's still continuing on all the way till the end of the year. But with that, we're also getting more rounds of the photo print. 10th anniversary flashbacks. This one isn't confirmed to arrive in game, but I assume it would. But in this case, it's just photo print for Christmas characters. So round 1 selection will be available from the end of the month. Round 2 is also in the works, and round 1 does contain these characters. Again, not confirmed, but I think it's maybe likely that whenever this does start at the end of the month, we will get a new login bonus that does let us pick any of these characters. Fortunately, in this case, it doesn't seem like there is a character that Caleb can exclude in the login bonus. But after that, this is the exciting news. We do now have official confirmation of the next set of characters releasing in Brave Souls, the characters that we voted for back in 2023. 2 weeks ago, we did get the reveal of their silhouettes, a Spirit Society male and a Orient Society female, and the characters happen to be, first up, the male character, a Spirit Society Aizen. Man, look at that design. It's great in a way to see Spirit Society characters return. It's been a while since we've last received them, and also it's kind of well timed because Halloween just happened. This can serve as a Halloween character for the year. But honestly, it makes sense where Aizen did win. He is a very popular male that surprisingly doesn't get that many seasonal characters, right? Because remember, we did vote for this, so we might have to do a community reaction going over the character choicing and also the design before we do see their skills in pretty much 2 weeks time. But it seems like when the community has a chance to vote for a character, they went all out. Spirit Society Aizen, I get it. Most of my character picks, one included, right? I did go for some, not so conventional character picks to a certain extent. But mostly all my characters that I did vote for were Spirit Society, right? It was between Spirit Society, Machine Society, Future Society, Orient Society, and I believe also Cacao Society. So it makes sense why a Spirit Society character did win. And again, I'm really liking the Aizen design here. It's giving off God vibes, which is what you expect from an Aizen, but also just a Spirit Society Aizen. When we had a look at the silhouette, I liked what I was looking at, despite it just being a silhouette, but I wasn't entirely sold on the antlers, if that's what we're going to call them. But now that we actually see the design, I think the colors match at the very least. It does blend in with the design, that it's not sticking out like it was when we only saw the silhouette. I'm liking the God symbols he has for his potential weapon on the right. I have no idea what they are called, but I do recognize that symbol from Sage of Six Paths in Naruto, so I'm assuming it's related to gods. Normally, Spirit Society characters also are supposed to resemble some type of folklore, spirit, god, something like that. Not entirely sure what Aizen is referencing here, but I do like the baggy fit. And one thing you are going to notice, right, because these are Blood War seasonal characters, is that even in a Blood War seasonal character, Aizen is still going to be sealed up wearing the eye patch. I like it though. It's a funny touch, but I think it does again add to the design, especially with the black robes. And with that too, you can also see his hair design does resemble a bit of the 1000 Year Blood War arc, right? But he's also having some long braided hair. So it's kind of a mixture of 1000 Year Blood War, but also an original take. And I really like the white robe that comes around him. It's very similar to Spirit's Arth Ever With You Sergeant. But honestly, the art looks really good. The design looks really good. I'm excited, finally, for a new seasonal Aizen. Hopefully the character can be good. Unfortunately for today's video, we don't have any stats and skills. It's just, quite frankly, the confirmation of the character and also the design. But it's been an absolute minute since we've last received a seasonal Aizen. I can't even tell you the last time we had a seasonal Aizen. Was it White Day? The party time one? With a character like Aizen and also Mayuri. Just want to throw in Mayuri's name because I feel like he doesn't get enough seasonals. There's a lot you could do with them. A lot of cool stuff too. like it translates into really cool designs. And we pretty much had that with Aizen. So honestly, I'm perfectly happy with the character choice here, especially because we voted for it. You're not going to see any hate from me, but our second character in the banner is going to be Bambietta. You simps. You simps. We're bringing that term back. You simps. You gooners. I mean, again, it also makes sense, right? Keep in mind, if you weren't here when the voting happened, this happened at the start of 2023, before we even got our first ever seasonal Blood War banner. So I know me personally, I voted for Giselle and Esno, right? Because they won one. Giselle wasn't in the game at the time. Bambietta at this point in time only had one character, but none of them had seasonals. So in a way, it does make sense that Bambietta, a super popular female, you know, from Kayla's point of view, they are releasing a lot of Bambiettas. We're probably going to get more Bambiettas in the future in 2026. Probably expect more seasonals too, because she is popular, and we pretty much have confirmation of that. Because when we got a choice to vote for characters, any possible combination, we also apparently voted for a Bambietta. But I do like this character inclusion. Again, once more, when we saw the silhouette, it was very hard in this case to make out what I was looking at. But I'm also liking the design itself a lot more. The black, gold, and red, I think kind of suits Bambietta. Even though, to be fair, in the actual canon Blood War material, she is wearing like a white outfit. Every stem rater is, right? I think she looks good in black. I like the hair design. I like the artwork. It's very dynamic in a way with how the whatever item she is using to attack is like super close into the screen. And this seems to be some form of attack that can also be translated into, you know, explosions. It looks like there is a spark at the tip of her weapon. But once more, I also do like that Orient Society was included in the selection, so I am glad she did win here. In a way, the best part about this, because again, we voted for it, is that we are getting two seasonal designs that we've not yet seen in years. Orient Society in particular, I was a fan of the design. I would have liked to have seen more of it, and we just never did. We only ever had that one banner. So to see it return is actually pretty exciting, because again, it does translate into some pretty cool characters. For the most part, only females. It would have been real funny, though, if a male character won an Orient Society design. I mean, they would have had to do it, but that's probably something that we're never going to see, which I think for a lot of us is probably fine. Right now, Orient Society does just seem to be female characters, but I'm here for it. Bambietta, again, looks really cool with the design. I'm here for it. So that, for the most part, should be our next banner in Brave Souls, released in 2 weeks' time. Overall, character choicing is good. Designs are good. I like it. All we need now, for the most part, is a good step-up banner. If you are guaranteed one of these characters in 10 steps, it's overall going to be a big W for the community. But continuing on with that, you might also be wondering, where is the remake character? Because remember, when we actually voted for these characters back in 2023, it was for new characters, where we get to pick the character choice and the design, again, Bambi and also Aizen 1, but we also got to vote for a character to be remade, a past seasonal character to come back again with new updated artwork, updated skills, animations, etc. as a whole new character. Throughout the last months, while they have been announcing, you know, the lead up to this particular announcement, nothing was ever said about the character that won the remake. Well, now we have confirmation, not of the character or the design, but we do have confirmation that that character will be releasing in the year 2026. My assumption is that whatever the character is going to be, are also going to be paired with two other characters released in that design. So, hypothetical, right? Me personally, I voted for Orient Society, Nelliel to be remade. Assuming she won, I would assume she's releasing a banner with two other Orient Society characters, or one more Orient Society character, assuming it's a mid-month or end of month. Maybe that's the plan, and that's not confirmed, it's just my speculation. Likewise, if it was a Spirit Society character, maybe it would be paired with more Spirit Society characters, or more Machine Society characters, etc., to fit with the theme. And in this case, the other characters that can be paired with this character are just chosen by Caleb like it's a normal banner. But continuing on with new character announcements, today we did get confirmation that the final season of 1000 Year Blood War, titled The Calamity, the characters that appear in that season will be released in Brave Souls. So for those that want to see True Bankai Ichigo, Ado Toshiro, the really cool moments that happen in the final season of Bleach, or the original content that might happen in the final season. The anime is airing in 2026, but expect when that season ends, 6 months later, those characters will be arriving in Brave Souls. It's kind of crazy to announce characters that far in advance, but I think it's a pretty cool announcement, especially because as of right now, we've not heard of any news regarding the final season of Bleach. But I know there's a lot of big moments from that season that I can't wait to have in game once more. Maybe for the first time, that'll be happening. Potentially at this point, depending on when the season airs, we are going to find out information on when the final season will happen, near December time. But like I said, the characters themselves will likely release around 6 months after the season does end. So if the anime airs in April time, expect them near the end of the year. If the characters release in July time, maybe at the earliest we can expect Season 4 characters this time next year for end of year 2026, going into 2027. More characters were announced today though, because we also do have another Burn the Witch collaboration happening. So in a way, this one kind of came out of nowhere, another Burn the Witch collaboration. We recently just had one 2 months ago. It was Swimsuit Needy, Noelle, and also Macy. But now we have more Burn the Witch characters, so right now I guess you can start speculating what type of characters they will be. Will it be canon? Will it be more seasonals? What seasonal banner will it be? I'm not really too sure, but for those that are Burn the Witch fans, that's more Burn the Witch characters coming away. We don't really have any more information other than that. It's just pretty much announced that Burn the Witch is collabing with Brave Souls once more. After that, though, we have some potential cool information. It really depends on how this is going to play out in the game. But during the 10th anniversary, one of the special things that we did get was a message from Kubo. He spoke about Brave Souls celebrating 10 years, and he also drew a piece of art to commemorate the moment. In this case, because Brave Souls anniversary happened in July, he chose to draw something regarding, Ichigo in a summer baseball outfit. Well, that itself is going to appear in a game. All they really say is that we are happy to announce that in-game content based on this illustration will be added to the game. So that's quite vague on what they mean. Does this mean we are going to be getting a baseball Ichigo? And that will be his artwork? That would be kind of cool. They've done it with the Kubo playable art units. Maybe it would make sense to, actually add a character like this that Kubo drew for Brave Souls in Brave Souls. Is it just going to be an accessory? What do they mean by confirmed to appear in game? That's the one we don't really know about right now. And if this character does appear in game, it's kind of a shame that Kubo drew Ichigo as a baseball character, because he could have done something crazy. Like, if imagine whatever he drew ended up appearing in game. He didn't know that. That might not even be the case, but imagine that was the case. Then it's a bit of a shame that Kubo just drew Ichigo in a baseball outfit. But nonetheless, regardless of how this is going to play out, this illustration, at the very least, some way, shape, or form, will be appearing in the game. But continuing on with the new character news, remember, one of the things celebrating during this 10th anniversary Brave Fest is that we get to pick the next con design, his voice lines, and also what abilities he will have. So right now we have the results of each individual category. So first up, the ability. In this case, as expected, because it was definitely the best one of the bunch, Everyday Con has one, and this is what the character is going to offer when he does arrive in 2 months time, at the end of the year. His soul trait is going to be 20% stam recovery and also 12% recharge, and then he's also going to come with 2 EX skills that offer long stride and also 20% berserker. That is a really good soul trait. One of the best soul traits and EX skill combinations in the game, and the fact that it's going to be a free character is going to be very, very good. My hope personally, because right now we don't know how we are going to obtain this character, but he will be free. I'm really hoping he's going to be a new Senkamon character, because having a soul trait like this in every attribute is going to be absolutely amazing. I mean, 12% recharge and 20% berserker, which does get multiplied based on the base berserker the character does have. So let's say, for example, you throw this onto 10th anniversary Ichigo, that 20% berserker becomes 40% berserker. The damage, recharge, long stride, which for me, when I'm manually playing with a character, is a must-have, and then also stam recovery is really good, especially in content like Limit Breaker, where, at least when I'm recording my videos, if a character gets hit, I gotta restart the whole quest. But yeah, for me, really, right now, the main thing is how we are going to obtain him. Because if he's a Senkamon character, that would mean that we could get this character in every single attribute, which would be amazing to have, because again, it's a very powerful soul trait. But alongside that, during the day event, because there was 2 events today, the day and night event, the day event did get to pick their voice lines. I'm sure this would have been fun at the event because Kon's voice actor was present. Not really much to say here, but whatever he does say in-game will have been chosen by the attendees of this event. And in the design that did win, because again, they also got to pick the design, was the blue con. So in this case, it's the con with a dragon hat. Keep in mind, these were the possibilities. Personally, I'm fine with this, as long as it was any design but the left one. Wasn't a big fan of the left one. My favorite was the one on the middle, on the right. They looked kind of cool, but I think all designs are pretty good. It's a free con. Can't really complain. But yeah, I guess shout out to the attendees that chose this design. And that's pretty much all the news that we do have in regards to the upcoming free con, which again, expect to see him in-game in around 2 months' time. And then lastly, we have a small little roadmap in regards to what to look forward to in the year 2026. So first up, we have new game content. In particular, new solo content will be added to the game in the year 2026. Looking forward to that. Hopefully it can be a pretty big update in terms of a potential new game mode that can maybe shape the game in a different way, kind of like how Limit Breaker did, right? I think, like always, Brave Souls needs to keep updating its existing game modes to make it more relevant, but also new content to spice things up every now and then is something that is definitely needed. So looking forward to that. I don't dislike the idea that it's once more solo content. I personally prefer single player content. I'm always bringing this up when I can, but Arena right now would be way more fun if it was 1v1. I'd play it like 100 times more than what I do right now. So I do like that it is going to be new solo content, and then with that we are also going to get additional new character related element. Nothing really to say regarding that, pretty much just confirms that we are going to get new mechanics, which we pretty much get every few months. And then now introduced a new aura mechanic, and I would probably expect something new at the end of the year. But below that we also do have updates to existing content. So first up we have attribute trees update. That's definitely something that needs to be updated. I think right now they need to look at a way for people to catch up, or maybe try and get rid of the need of doing the quest every single day, because if you miss a day, you technically fall behind. It's not that big of a deal if you do fall behind, but there's definitely improvements that can be made to this system. As of right now, it's more so to me, even though nothing is confirmed here, just we need a new way for people to catch up. We need a way maybe to lower the soul ticket count, maybe make it a weekly quest that you can do like 10 times a week. Maybe make it a quest that you only do once a week. That way you can't fall behind. Because right now, the biggest problem with the attribute tree system is, again, no way to catch up. If you skip the game or, you know, come back after a few months, you technically fall behind. Even then, again, it's not a big of a deal. And then also the fact that it does cost 30 soul tickets a day. That's quite a lot. Even though this game does offer a lot of soul tickets, for the casuals out there that maybe only log into the game once a day, I mean, 30 soul tickets does go a long way. Interestingly enough, though, we are also getting an update to Limit Breaker Quest. Not entirely sure what this can be, but any way to spice up the game mode would be great to see. Me personally, I would like to see Limit Breaker happen every 2 weeks. And I wouldn't mind a permanent Limit Breaker quest where you're designed to bring teams of every attribute. Like, imagine we had our monthly reoccurring Limit Breaker quests, but when that goes away for 2 weeks of the month, we have access to permanent Limit Breaker quests that the only idea is to beat it once, but they never change. Stuff like that would be really cool to do when Limit Breaker isn't active, you know, in the second half of the month. So something like that or more rewards would be great to see. Following that, we do have a new solo content update. So in particular, Brave Battles and the Special Move Training Grounds will be seeing updates. So not really sure what they could do for Brave Battles, more improved rewards. Anything to that game mode would be great. And in regards to Special Move Training Grounds, I feel like the only thing that can be improved here is making it so you can use multiple tickets at a go. You know, right now you can only use one ticket at a time. If you let me do 10 times soul tickets, it's a simple but very good update to that mode or event. I'll be doing it every single day. I mean, at this point, I am starting to run out of characters to use in that quest. But better late than never, because I know a lot of people, myself included, skip out on it some days just because, you know, I don't want to do 10 individual runs. So that's personally what I'm expecting regarding these Special Move Training Grounds. But again, if anything different can come from that, that would be exciting. And then also improvements to co-op. Again, not really sure what that could mean. That could be anything. And then also, like always, expect more quality of life improvements. But with that said, that's the video for today, going over all the 10th anniversary of Brave Souls Festival news that we did get today. Some pretty exciting stuff coming our way. Glad to finally see again the announcement of the characters that we voted for back in 2023. Spirit Society Aizen, Orient Society Bambietta. Nice to see a small roadmap in a way of stuff to look forward to in the year 2026. Looking forward to that new content. Finally, we got again the announcement of the character we voted for to get a remake. And even though it was expected, having confirmation that the final season of Bleach characters will appear in game is kind of exciting. Let me know in the comments below what you're most excited for. I'll see you guys next time. Take care and peace.